Shadow is an aspect within yourself that you wished you did not have due to you feeling more lovable. Hi, my name is Samantha and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful day. So I got a question, and what is an example of shadow work and how to do it? So the shadow is anything that the ego does not identify with. It is aspects within ourselves that we wish that we didn't have in order for us to feel more lovable. So a rule of thumb that I like to use when working with shadow work is to identify what it is that you don't like in other people. That's generally a starter for what you don't like within yourself. So an aspect of yourself that you generally really don't like will oftentimes come with a complete resistance or a feeling of repulsiveness. So repulsiveness is often due to shame. So oftentimes we have this natural ability to be able to mold ourselves into what other people want us to be in order for us to feel more lovable. But as time goes on, we'll realize that we feel very disconnected from ourselves, and this is often times where shadow work is very helpful. So if you're a person that is struggling, feeling very disconnected with yourself, it means that you have a shadow that wants to be integrated or loved. So we're going to give an example. Let's say I don't like that other people exude femininity. So I'm going to be very resistant towards people that have a lot of feminine qualities. So I myself might be extremely feminine, but yet I completely deny that I am feminine. Everyone else generally sees it, but I don't see it within myself. So naturally, I'm going to avoid people who are feminine. So if you would like to do shadow work, you have to find the benefit of what it is that you don't like. Integration is all about it feeling safe to be a part of you. So oftentimes we do not feel safe or secure when we have an aspect within ourselves such as femininity. We don't feel like it's very safe or secure to have that about us. We feel like we will be shamed or punished. So we're going to find this aspect of femininity, and we're going to say, I'm going to find an aspect of why I don't like femininity. And it usually comes back from some sort of childhood or some sort of wanting to attach to someone else or build a rapport with someone else, but they generally don't like femininity. So in order to have that connection, you will have to give up femininity. So oftentimes what you're doing is giving up a part of yourself. So healthy people, or people that are very well-rounded and really connected with themselves, they never ask other people to change who they are. Because aspects of people that you generally don't like are shadows within ourselves. So I'm going to find the aspect of femininity that I don't like, or the person that made me give it up, and I'm going to ask myself, what benefit am I going to get out of being feminine, and what negative am I going to get out of for being feminine. So this often could include a negative aspect. Could be femininity means that I'm weak or vulnerable, gullible. It means that I can be taken advantage of, or that I am not intelligent. So I'm also going to weigh the positive sides to femininity. Softness, compassion, forgivingness. I'm going to, maybe femininity reminds me of someone that I love very dearly. So we're going to be very honest with both sides of femininity. And then we're going to ask ourselves, why is it not safe to feel feminine? So oftentimes people don't feel safe or secure with feeling a shadow within themselves. It's because they feel like they're going to lose something of value if they embrace that part of themselves. So let's say, if I embrace femininity, then that means that I'm going to lose maybe a significant other, or I might have to change the dynamics within my family. If I embrace femininity, that means that I might have to give up the job that I am currently working at. It could possibly mean that being feminine means that I will have to face the fact that I am not all masculine or dark. I do exude some qualities about me that might feel really uncomfortable. So it's very important to be extremely honest with yourself, and then be honest with what it is that you might lose if you were to embrace this part of yourself. Now, a rule of thumb that I like to remind myself is that you never actually lose anything. If you lose something, it wasn't meant to be yours to begin with, or it wasn't meant to stay in your life. So if you are to embrace parts of yourself or aspects of yourself, it doesn't mean that you have to be that way all the time. It means that you're completely aware of them, and that you value and trust and accept that part of you as a gift to yourself and to be a well-rounded person. It's also very helpful to find how femininity will benefit you as a person, and usually it will usually, or what part of your well-being will femininity benefit, such as maybe it will lower my blood pressure, maybe it will allow me to be more compassionate, or work on the resentment parts of myself that I really have a difficult time with. It's very helpful to find the benefit in our shadow. So oftentimes when we integrate or accept our shadow, we're not going to be in such a state of resistance, and more opportunities will arise. So oftentimes when we go through life and we have our shadow, we're kind of putting a hand out like this and pushing it away while doing your day-to-day activities, being a loving husband or wife, watching TV. So you're never really in the moment. You're always kind of subconsciously pushing this part of yourself out of the way. So it's a lot of work. So when you are able to integrate your shadow or work on loving and accepting it, it's going to be less of a resistance for you, and less of a more of an ability to be in the present moment, and the more of ability to love other people unconditionally. So I hope this was helpful, guys. And if you guys do have a question, I have opened an email. It is elephmyrrh@mail.com, which I will leave in the description box below. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye.